Hello, dear people. How are you? Uh, how are you doing, my dear friends? Uh, who do you have? Okay, Peter Nuttall. Hello. Ahoy, hoy, gentle people saying Jens and hello. And I actually have the little lamb I got from Jens. Not when we met. Got purple rhymes with orange. Hello, sentient beings. Oh, hey, Arthur Weber is in the chat. Wonderful to see you there. And happy New Year. This is the very first live video, and it's January the 2nd, 2023. And I was thinking really hard how I should uh, start this, but humans have had at least a spoken language uh, for some tens of thousands of years. Written language we do not have until may, may in some may sometime in the fifth millennia before Common Era. The earliest scriptures, that we got them from China, mainly from Egypt and the Levant, Babylonia. Then we got China, India, got Sanskrit being written a very long time ago, and pronouns are essential to a language, or at least something similar to pronouns. As I understand it, I had a chat with someone who speaks Japanese regarding these pronouns. The Japanese language has something similar to not pronouns per se, but a system that is used similar, if I understand it correctly, that is used similarly to pronouns. Like the male pronoun, one of those is that also means boyfriend, and the feminine version also means girlfriend, or is used of your one's boyfriend or girlfriend. But for example, Indo-European languages, that would include, for example, Turkish, Russian, Greek, the Romance languages, English, the Germanic languages. Actually, it does not. Finnish is not a Indo-European language; it's a Finnic language. We'll come to that in a moment, but it's part of speech. There are no. I mean, Indo-European languages they just don't function without pronouns. Um, there are several types or subtypes of pronouns and now I'm talk now at this in this context I'm purely talking about English language. In English there are subtypes that are called include personal and possessive pronouns, reflexive and reciprocal, demonstrative, relative, uh, and interrogative pronouns, as well as indefinite pronouns. It The English language wouldn't work without pronouns. Its pronouns have, for the longest of time, been to specify one use has been to specify the person's gender identity. In many languages like Finnish, it's not needed, but this is a highly polarizing issue and very upsetting to some conservatives for for whatever curious reason, and upsetting and confusing for some. I don't know. I don't understand why. Um, and it's often nowadays, especially in Western world, in the English language, it's often has to do with gender and gender and sexual identity. But pronouns have been heavily utilized in English and many other languages across the world, around the world, across Europe. So many different languages in Europe, and pronouns, as long as these languages have existed, thousands and thousands of years, these pronouns have been used to serve to identify gender, which is quite interesting, really, because there's quite a bit of linguistics going around with pronouns, different principles, etc. So there are, for example, in English language, there are first, second, third person number, i.e., singular, plural, and gender, masculine, feminine, neuter, or inanimate, and epicene. Epicene is in English, in standard modern English. For example, epicene pronoun is the third. There are third person pronouns when there are masculine, feminine, neuter slash inanimate, epicene, and third person plural. The difference between epicene and plural personal pronouns is that reflexive of third person epicene is themselves, whereas plural third person plural reflexive is themselves. There we have it. In practice, and it goes on to say epicene means the lack of gender distinction, often reducing the emphasis on the masculine to allow feminine, at least in English language. And the adjective gender neutral would be close to what would describe epicenity. So there is not an English third person neuter inanimate. It's just it's itself. So there are if you take all these away, you cannot speak English language. At least, okay, it would become some sort of pidgin to use as a de facto language. It would diminish the English language to something very different. if you take away pronouns, even the person, if you take the first person pronouns, singular and plural, if you take that away, first and second person pronouns, if you take that away, it makes many languages around the world, especially most Indo-European languages, defunct. You cannot use those languages without pronouns. I hope the chat is still with me. Okay, so as for but one of the biggest problems with what these people have is the gendered pronouns and the gender diverse people using these neo pronouns, as they are called by some. They do not realize that these are built into many languages. Here is the map of European languages by colored by use of gender, of grammatical gender and gender pronouns. And I will give you the key to this. So red is grammatical genders and gendered third person, singular and plural pronouns. Orange is grammatical genders and gendered third person, singular pronouns. Green is animate and inanimate genders but no gendered pronouns. Blue is grammatical genders but gendered third person singular pronouns. And gray is no grammatical genders and no gender pronouns. Okay, here we have it. Okay, let's start with, okay, so English, for example, English language seems to be pretty much the only one of the major European languages spoken that has no grammatical genders but gendered third person and singular pronouns. Whereas we can go to Romance languages, Romance, Slavic, Hellenic, and Slavic languages, as well as Icelandic and Faroese. These are Faroe Islands. Icelandic is a Germanic language, West Germanic language, and of the modern languages, it is closest to Old Norse, which was spoken 1,000 years ago. You know, it was the language of the Vikings. Icelandic people can still, native Icelandic speakers can read with ease the 1,000-year-old Norse sagas, which is quite interesting. And then we have the Celtic languages, the Celtic and the Irish language, Cymric, and the Scot, and then the Highland Scots, and then we have the orange ones. Orange ones, grammatical genders and gendered third person pronouns. Irish, the Celtic languages, the Germanic and Ukrainian, and some Eastern, whatever languages are spoken here, and then Russian. And so these red languages in red, there are Romance, Slavic, Balkan, and Greek, Romanian. Those have two genders and grammatical genders and gendered third person singular and plural pronouns. Then we have the Scandinavian, other Scandinavian, the Germanic languages. But interestingly here, uh, no grammatical gendered, no grammatical genders and no gendered pronouns are Turkish, and then Hungarian and the Finnic languages. We have Estonian, Finnish, the Sami languages, and then Kven. Kven here in Norway. There's Kven, which is to some degree mutually intelligible with Finnish. Then we have the Karelian language here on the Russian side of the border. Here in this area here, there are also Karelian speakers, Karelian language. Okay, so we don't have grammatical genders or gender pronouns. Pronouns are too hard for simple minds. Religious, yes. Then Bowie says conservative pronouns are witchcraft and evil talk. Really? To conservatives they are, yes. And Peter's been too active with his buttons. Whoops, sorry. Where is it? Okay. It's unfortunate that yeah. Anyway, just as a side note, I've come to notice this is how many have I done? How many of these have I done? I think this is my 10th or 11th. This is my 10th or 11th. Yes, this is 10th. I think this is my 10th debunk Monday. I've come to notice that these have become more like debunking a concept rather than or a thought or a concept or a thought concept or a claim rather than any any particular idiot. Because many debunkers they take a video and they debunk it, but I've noticed that I've come to so is somehow I've come to start to debunk ideas or views or flawed views. So what do you like? Do you like this debunking ideas? Do you like me debugging ideas and concepts and claims rather than taking a video and tearing it apart and tearing that one apart in the same fashion as Mr. Simon Dan, Cricket Blinder, etc. What they do, I'll take one or two videos. But pizza dear, I'll give you a break. I know it's like 5 or 6 in the morning for you there, so I wasn't trying to give you too much hard time. I'm sorry if you took it too hard. I didn't mean to do that. But would you prefer me to do more the style stuff in the style or of Simon Dan, Cricket Blinder and the likes, or do this kind of debunking the idea or debunking the idea or claim? Pizza says, I like learning about what I didn't know, so explainers are my bag. Yes, yeah, actually, personally, I prefer doing this. Debunk taking any idiotic idea like pronouns don't exist, and then just take it and go and see where it takes me before, and then present it to you. Okay, let's take on another. Okay, there was a Pew Research Center. Um, I think I'll link this in the description box. Americans' complex view of gender identity and transgender issues. It's a longer one. It's an interesting. This is a longer read, but hey, but this is interesting. Majority of U.S. adults say gender is determined by sex assigned at birth, and 60 and here we can see two lines. 86% of um, Republicans or leaning towards Republicans said yes, it is so, whereas 61% of Democrats or Democratic leaning people said it can be different, but it's an interesting here. So I'll this is a longer read, so I'm not going through this today. I as you can see, it's really long. Yes, three pages. So I'm not going through it with you today. But there will be a time that I will go through that article or that study with you. And let's go. Let's see. Okay. Now, if you just refresh your page, you can find the link in the description box below. Okay, why the fuck should I? Okay. Now, um, Jens says debunking ideas and concepts is preferable to showing some idiot's video, in my humble opinion. Says Jens, I do agree. And Bowie says debunking is a smart way to bash a conservative religious ideology into pus. Precisely. Morning glass. We have Bertil. Hmm. The other day, uh, I found Bertil in our bed, you know, on the head side, his head down. All I could see was this much, this much of him. It was scary. I don't know how he got there. Honestly, I have no idea. Here's Stefan, and I'm planning on getting some paint so that I can paint his watering can. Yeah, so it's an interesting little thing there. Anyway, just a side question. How was your uh Christmas and New Year? I hope it was well. I spent um my new year here at home with Katja, Bertil, and Stefan, and of course uh, Alfred was there, another stuffed animal we have. Okay, and then the Christmas we spent um, at Katja's parents' place. It was nice in Turku. It's the former capital of Finland before it was the capital of Finland before the Russian time. Ooh, by the way, correct one. Yes. Your opinion. Which ones? Which ones do you prefer? These you've quite seen quite often. Oh, these are quite a bit lighter. So, oh, these. Say Peter. Peter says quiet, just like I like it. Oh, I don't. I'm not sure I follow. I'm not sure I follow at all. Uh, your screen resolution doesn't show any difference. Okay. Okay, too bad. Okay. Where do properties? Ownership off. Okay. No, not too bad. So the concept of trying of saying pronouns don't exist because these it's in particular these neopronouns um, or the use of for example in English language the third person epicene um, they them their theirs themselves using that but non-binary people using that. I mean it's new use of an existing it's using something that is already already exists. So it's not creating it's not creating something new. It's at best making reusing something. So making a new use for the third person epicene, they them there's themselves. So, but that's something they don't understand. It's to because reusing something old to mean to be used as something that is basically the same thing, but means a bit different. It's way too difficult for a conservative idiot and a transphobe to understand. Um, who says my Christmas was very crowded? New Year was a blank. Uh huh. Some idiots were shooting off some banging some rockets, some firework there. just like, and they were hitting some people's balcony glasses on like on who knows how many floors up. So there was a concert in Helsinki downtown, and some idiot decided to start start firing some a bit some heavier duty fireworks in the crowd in the concert. There was a huge concert, hundreds of people, and there's some idiot started firing some heavier duty fireworks in the crowd. As I understand it, luckily no one was injured. Someone could have possibly lost their lives, or lost limbs, eyes, etc. So please do not do that. Never. No, 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 no. Yes, there we have it. Oh, oi, oi. It was quite an interesting um New Year, New Year's Eve, but we stayed up late. We didn't go anywhere. It's snowy, icy, and I think it was raining. Uh, raining water. So was really hazardous. It was just like plus 2 Celsius, icy as hell. I didn't want to go. I didn't even want to try and go crack my skull in there. Besides, there would have probably been just uh, drunken idiots, etc., etc. If had we decided to go somewhere, but didn't, I would just stayed home. Stayed home watching telly. Nothing special. Had a few drinks. That's it. So, but it was fun. It was fun. It was fun making a few pre-recorded videos. I think um, okay. Let me get you. I think I have a few beer videos that I can give some heads up on here. Let's see. I have yes, I've had fun making a few videos. Yes, there is one coming out this week and one coming out next week. So this week Thursday and next week Thursday. Uh, Thursday the 5th and Thursday the 12th. Interesting beers that I can. You'll just have to wait. Wait for a bit. Be patient, my young Padawan. Be patient. can tell you that there's one Estonian beer and one German beer. So coming up that are recorded, recorded, and I've processed them, uploaded. They are already uploaded to YouTube, but they're just waiting for release. I've scheduled them, not all at once. Not all at once. That's all at once. Okay. Okay. I think I'll keep this. Peter said I got slightly inebriated. Discord for details. Discord for details. Okay. Okay. Well, I think I will keep this a bit shorter than today then, because it's 40 minutes already now, and it's 22 midnight. I'm tired. And I will see you next time with Stefan and Bertil. Oh, and the little ship. Until next time.